What is going on? What is going on, everybody? Wow, the first our intro in over 56 episodes. It had to come at some point in time. But how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. My name is Zachary McAllister, and today I'm joined, as usual, by my co-host. Let's start with Daniel Pike on this episode.
I'm doing great, bro. I couldn't be happier. Like I said, I'm always happy when Tottenham wins, and I'm even more happy when Arsenal loses. And it took a while, but the losing streak has started in terms of Arsenal, and I just hope there's more losses to come. My hockey team also won this weekend, so I'm chuffed, winning on all fronts. And I didn't, Varsity was tough, but we got through the week, so I'll count that as a W as well. So I'm excited to talk about some footy.
Remember saying you got an assist as well from left back.
Yeah. Trent. What can I say?
Proper Robertson.
Brother from another
left
mother.
Back.
Cancelo and Daniel.
Turning into Prime Marcelo.
Yeah, Marcelo. That was one of the craziest rumors I've seen, at least in the last few years, was Marcelo being linked to Leicester on deadline day last week.
Whoa!
I don't think I saw that, but that was crazy.
Wow.
That would be very random.
I think they would confirm Leicester as Luke's Premier League team if it did happen.
Oh, 100%,
Definitely.
Vardy and Marcelo. Do you know the tears that combination would create? Nah, Jets.
Yeah. Hayden, how are you doing today?
What is there to say? Liverpool put in another mediocre shift. They're feeling adequate. That's the best way to describe it. Adequate.
You feeling adequate?
That title challenge slipping further and further away.
What title challenge?
Slipping my fingers.
Hayden coming out with the big takes early. Liverpool are out of the title race. Early.
How can you be out of something you were never part of? You don't just come into a season and then you're automatically part of a title challenge. Wow. You have to earn the right to say you're in the title challenge.
Who would have thought?
Liverpool need to earn look, don't misunderstand me. Liverpool could probably still challenge for the title, but they need to earn that moniker.
I was about to say, Hayden Anderson down bad. You'll never see it again on this podcast, guys. Savor this moment. And for the YouTube viewers wondering why Hayden's video quality is just so saturated, he's actually died and gone to heaven.
You saw the result.
It explains the bright lights in the background.
Couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of not being able to take it anymore, Luke, I know how much you dislike going first on the podcast, so I've decided to introduce you last so that you can be as far away from first as possible.
Best for
unlike
last,
Real Madrid, who
shouldn't that be Daniel? He's the one that's most used to being in that position.
Ooh, okay. I know, not in that position right now, Hayden.
Hayden is just projecting these negative feelings towards us because he knows that it was only Arsenal and Real Madrid that had an undefeated record to date, and given the Arsenal L, that means Madrid is the only team.
Wait.
But Madrid plays in a
Spurs haven't lost yet, Luke.
In a farmers league, in a peanuts league.
No. I mean, like they've only won. They've got a win record, like not like win and draw.
But is it really impressive when you're playing in that league?
It's levels here, bro. It's
only
levels.
league that
You're drawing to
Premier League.
My man is drawing to Everton on a Friday night, and Madrid's chowing with billions of supporters in the Bernabeu, scoring 2 goals. This weekend, I think we played what's this team, Betis, who for some reason has just been clapping Madrid's cheeks like season after season after season at the Bernabeu. So we got a 2-1. Vinny off the marker again, and I don't know who scored the second one. It wasn't Benz. I don't really know what's happening to Benz, but he's still an influence. And Rodrigo, so the boys are doing the things. I was watching that game. Chouameni he got man of the match, so that's always good to see. And it was like a interesting match with a balance between, the old guard. Modric was starting, but then Cruz came in later, and I think Valverde was on the bench, but then he came on and he assisted. So it was a great match all in all. Nice to see the boys back at the Bernabeu, you know. And so again, like Dan, we're winning on all fronts here. And tomorrow, I think tomorrow is
Camavinga starting for you guys yet? Eh?
He did. I think he did start actually. Let me confirm.
Yeah, it was Camavinga, Tchouameni, and Modric.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Okay. So the new boys are like starting now.
Yeah, Tchouameni's like actually been pretty good. Like he had a rough first game, but I thought he's been pretty good so far this season.
He really and against Betis, bro. Like I was super happy for this gent. So yeah, quality weekend. Champions League tomorrow. Remember I told you guys we might take an L at Celtic, so I'm not getting too hype. You know, you got to start with the bar set low and then work your way up. But otherwise we're chilling. And then obviously watching the Prem this weekend was fantastic. Watching Hayden take L's. Dan, I think, did Tottenham draw?
We drew midweek. A little bit bittersweet, but, you know, at least we didn't drop 3 points, only dropped 2.
It do be like that. And I watched the first half of the United game. Solid start to the game. And then, and then I had arrangement on Sunday night, so I couldn't watch the second half, but I watched the highlights and it looked like it was an absolute banger second half. So, yeah. Yeah, and FPL, bro. My FPL was looking horrendous, and then I'll tell you the masterclass if you guys switch on to the FPL segment of this podcast. But yeah, then we can do some foreshadowing.
Easy plug.
There we go. Professional podcaster Luke Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Before we move on to the Arsenal United game, I just want to say 2 things on Madrid. So, firstly, yes, they have won every game so far this season, but they've only played 4 games. Whereas everyone in the Prem has played 6. So
have we only played 4?
Yeah, because you started a week late, and the Prem has had a double.
Correct.
Run
you
of
are
games.
correct. Okay. Well, I'll still take it.
Secondly, you said that Madrid has struggled against Betis recently. I don't think they've scored a goal against Betis at the Bernabeu since 2017. Or at least I heard that on the commentary. So this is the first time he scored against Betis at the Bernabeu since 2017.
Oh.
That's such a random stat.
That's crazy.
That's such a random stat.
What?
Yeah, guys. I was amped. They're playing well though. They were top of the league. It was Betis 1, I think Madrid 2, and then so obviously that was going to be a deciding factor. So yeah, happy to beat them. But then also Barca had a masterclass this weekend. So Zach, your prediction of Barca being a contender, I definitely think is there. I think it's there.
I'm so keen for El Clasico. Like it's just going to be so good.
It's
genuinely. Proper. I can't remember the last time that Barcelona and Real Madrid were both one of the best 2 teams in Europe. So it's going to be. So
they're looking good. Okay, to be fair, Sevilla wasn't. Actually, no. I watched some of the first half of that game too, and Sevilla were proper. But Luis gonna do the things in the La Liga. In La Liga this season, so yeah, that's going to be exciting.
But speaking of 2 of the best teams in Europe, Arsenal headed to Old Trafford.
Don't you dare say that. That has to be a joke, Zach.
I mean,
in fact, not even as a joke. Arsenal and the best cannot be in the same sentence.
The best club in London.
Never.
How many Premier Leagues have you won?
Well, we've won a couple before it was named the Premier League, but you know.
Okay, that still counts, but I mean, you haven't won one unbeaten, so I think Arsenal can pretty much claim in undisputed fashion that they are the biggest club in London. So just check yourself, Daniel.
You're.
Okay.
Haven't won a Champions League though. Chelsea
neither are Spurs.
Have they made it to a Champions League final?
Spurs definitely can't enter in this conversation. We can agree on that.
Woke up and chose violence, guys.
He really has.
Woke up.
I'm not gonna let him ruin my day, though.
My man.
That's why I'm on this podcast. I'm here to make all your days worse.
Gotta love it.
But before I give my take on the game from a United perspective, I want to get your guys' views of the game. Dan, I think you watched the entire game, so try and keep his opinion as unbiased as possible. We know that you are a Spurs fan, and when Arsenal lose, you win. So what is your as unbiased as possible opinion on the game?
Okay, my unbiased opinion is that Christian Eriksen, despite being a Tottenham player, totally unbiased, is just like the best guy at Manchester United right now. That's my unbiased opinion. All factual. What did Hayden say like a few weeks ago? By all metrics, He is the best.
Why do you keep on referring back to that one phrase?
By all metrics, Christian Eriksen is the only reason why Manchester United are winning right now. And that's all I have to say. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think
not biased, bro.
Martinez is defying expectations. Even me, I was a Martinez hater. But I think on the ball, he's doing good and he's a hustler. He makes things happen. If it's scrappy, it's at least outside, like not inside the net. He keeps it out the net, and that's all you want. So my opinion on him has definitely changed. And I think Ten Hag is slowly growing on me as well. Initially, I was like, this guy can't do anything in the dressing room. Everyone's still a little bit of a bad fruit, bad apple, if I can say that. But it looks like things are slowly starting to change. But definitely Eriksen is at the helm of this new Man United attack. And that's the only compliment I can give them.
He's so important to this team, though. Yes, Aiden?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, everyone complains about Martinez being so short. But he's actually taller than me, so I don't know how to take that.
Okay, bro, but you're not playing in the Prem with like 6 foot something O's down your throat like every minute,
How do you know I don't have 6 foot O's down my throat every minute?
Wow, okay.
You don't know what I get up to here. Keep that.
Whoa. Listen.
I'm not sure how to. I don't have something.
No comment.
We had
that's kind of sus, bro.
last week, and now we got Hayden this week.
By all metrics, that was pretty sketchy, bro.
Martinez.
Not gonna lie.
Why is it sketchy? Is it a problem if it were to be sketchy?
No, guys.
Okay,
I read that
you
essay
must know
about
yourself.
the LGBTQ
You
community.
can get the whole podcast cancelled.
Luke didn't learn from his assignment last week.
No, fair enough, Aiden. If that's what you're into, if you're into that, then so be it, bro. It's just Martinez is doing it in the Prem and you're doing it in your res room on
a Liverpool fan attribute. We can't.
Liverpool fans
I guess it's something common to all Liverpool fans,
Eddie, you're creating a bad rep here for the bros.
Yeah, this might be our last ever episode, guys. So if it is, it's been a fun ride. I've enjoyed these 56.
No, but seriously, episodes. Martinez is doing the things, bro. I didn't watch that second half, but apparently Maguire was subbed in, and I've just been seeing like short clips of TikTok of him just like being horrendous, guys. Like,
my poor man can't do anything wrong. Can't do anything right. It wasn't bad at all.
I don't know.
He got a yellow card as soon as he came on, but that wasn't his fault. It was an absolute hospital pass from Casemiro, and I mean, if he doesn't get the yellow card, he gets dribbled past and they score, and then it's even worse. So take that yellow card, whatsoever.
Tactical.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Taking one for the team.
Yeah, but honestly, this guy could score a goal, and then everyone would just rave on him and be like, "Oh my gosh, he thinks he's so good,"
Oh, look at the way he celebrated.
Yeah,
he celebrated.
So my poor man is just under the microscope.
No, you see, if he scores, it's always like his job's not to score. His job's to stop conceding goals. So it means nothing.
Yeah,
I remember because that's what he did one time with England. He scored a goal, and then everyone was like, "Why is this man celebrating? He's a defender."
Bro, he did like the cupping ears, like you see what I'm all about. What a disaster class from this kid. No shame. No shit whatsoever.
But I mean, he did only come on at the end of the game, and at that point, United were looking to like lock up the lead. But just on United's performance as a whole, I thought it was really good. I thought, like Luke, you mentioned at the beginning of the game, United looked solid. I thought that was probably our best 10 to 15 minutes of the entire season. It might have been the best 10 to 15 minutes I've seen from United in like a very long time. Like just the way we had possession of the ball. We were all the way up in Arsenal's half. Like they'd try and just get it back or regain possession, and then we'd press them beyond them again. So I thought like that was really solid. And then the disallowed goal came, and that kind of shook us. Like I think had that been called a foul before Martinelli had put the ball in the back of the net, I think it would have been chilled and we would have just carried on playing like that. But as soon as like the players saw that, like, oh snap, like we can get caught in the counter like this, they kind of went back in their shells, and I think that kind of broke our momentum a bit. But in a way, that kind of benefited us because we actually are better when we're playing on the counter than when we have possession. and that was basically all of our goals came off the counter. So I thought in a way it was kind of better for us that kind of happened. But I thought it was a solid performance from the attackers. Rashford getting on the score sheet, like, I mean, the dude's just that guy for United. I mean, he scored, I think it was his debut.
I think they said his debut against Arsenal, he scored 2 goals. I think
2 goals and assist in his debut, and then 2 goals and assist this weekend. So can't complain about that. I think he's finally getting his confidence back, which is important for Rashford, because I think that's what he was missing, is that confidence. Because I mean, the dude was like, he was objectively our best player 2 seasons ago. Like, he carried us under Ollie. That season we finished second. So I think that this kind of slump in form has mainly been down to him just not having confidence. And I think him scoring against Liverpool and then getting the 2 goals against Arsenal this weekend is going to be huge for him. I think Anthony, him getting on the score sheet is pretty important as well, because you're kind of always waiting for that first goal. Everyone's going to be asking questions, how long it's going to take for the guy to, get his name on the score sheet and really acclimatize to the Prem. So I think the fact that he's got that first goal, he's got that monkey of his back immediately, I think is huge for him, even though I don't think he had the best game. Like, I mean, the dude had some tricks, he
did, bro.
We wind up Arsenal fans. He was himself, but I don't think he offered much in terms of actual.
He was bringing that gassy flavor to the Premier League, bro.
Yeah. Let's just hope there's not a Steven Bergwijn repeat. Scores an absolute cracker against Manchester City and then goes quiet for the rest of the season.
Yeah, hopefully not. But
I mean, mind you, he was spending a lot of time on the bench, and I think Anthony is a starter.
100%. I mean, Casemiro hasn't started a game yet for United, and he's been there like a few weeks longer than Anthony has. So the fact that Anthony's straight in the starting 11 against Arsenal, I think shows that Ten Hag has that faith in him. So I'm keen to see what he's going to bring. McTominay.
Wow.
McTominay had probably the best game I've seen him have. Like, at least in like the last year to 18 months. Like, the dude was all over. I think he had 100% pass completion rate, so he was just doing the things for United.
But he probably had having his 3 passes, bro.
I mean, three is probably generous, but I'm just kidding. He had more than that. But I think having his physicality in the midfield was huge. So I thought he was a big positive. I would have liked to see Casemiro start ahead of him. But look, it worked out in the end. Eriksen, like you mentioned, Dan, just impeccable. I do worry about him. I do worry about him because he has played a lot of minutes in a very short space of time to start the season. So, I don't know. I think we need to take care of him a bit better moving forward. But I just don't see...
Didn't Fernandes also get the assist?
Pardon?
Yeah. Oh, I've talked about Fernandes as well. But just finishing up on Eriksen. I don't think we have another player in the squad that can kind of play the role that he did. So, I don't really know, like, if we do rest him, like, who comes in to replace him.
Because the issue you guys have is that you're kind of turning into a counter-attacking team. And Christian Eriksen is so valuable to that because he can get the ball, turn, and then switch it across the field, for a good counter-attack. And you haven't really got someone who can do that. I mean, Bruno can do that, but he's kind of one of the person who just makes that run upfield as opposed to being the person who's deep and sends in the pass. So I get what you're saying. You haven't really got someone who can replace Eriksen.
So theoretically, Bruno could do the Eriksen role, but I tweeted this out during the game that whatever the opposite of ball retention is, so whatever the opposite of trying to keep the ball in possession is, Bruno is that. Like, the dude just cannot hold onto the ball for like any longer than 2 seconds without launching it or trying some flick that doesn't work or like just doing something crazy. So I don't think that he probably has the skill set, but he doesn't have the decision making to play that Eriksen role. So that's gonna be interesting to see. But he, for all his flaws, like he does have like that one piece of magic that can just unlock a defense, like that
definitely.
Rashford goal. Yeah, he got the assist for the Rashford goal. It was like outside of the boot, put him straight in. Like, he has that in him. So I think there is value in having him in the team. And the defense, I thought wasn't as solid as it was against Liverpool. But I thought they did enough. De Gea, the less I say about De Gea, the better. But yeah. Overall, I thought it was a solid performance. Ten Hag, I thought, set the team up extremely well. And I don't know. I'm seeing progression. That little 10-15 minutes at the beginning of the game gave me hope that we can maybe extend that and maybe get up to a full 90 by the end of the season, hopefully. But yeah, the title charge has started.
The title charge.
Easy now, bruv. Easy now.
Slow down.
You have to face Brighton and Brentford again.
Guys, Brighton to win the Premier League 2022-23.
Brighton genuinely might make a top 4 charge. Like,
but we said this happened again. Like, this happened exactly like 2 seasons ago. Brighton were like, yes, Brighton's are doing it, and then for like half the season they were in the top 5 or 6, and then they just were like, oh yeah, and then they just
tanked.
They just faded away.
Squad depth was nowhere.
But hey, man, the Prem is a wonderful place, and things that you don't think happen.
Guys,
yes,
the Graham
like
Potter
Liverpool
effect.
Liverpool drawing at Goodison Park to Everton.
What do you mean? That's so unexpected. I think we draw Goodison Park last season.
Nah, bro, that's unexpected. That's unexpected.
We definitely drew,
especially this Everton.
Who that you, bro?
2 seasons ago.
Who are you worrying about in Everton, bro?
Guys, but Liverpool has a massive problem. Liverpool was unable to score goals. If you remove the Bournemouth destruction, and you look at all the other games, Liverpool has been struggling to score goals. And it seems like, I don't know, Klopp has tweaked the system in such a way that we're playing a lot more like Man City, and I don't know, Liverpool's just not good enough when it comes to that style of play. I don't know, because we ourselves have neutralized Salah by forcing him to play out wide and preventing him from cutting in. And then Trent is horrific. The midfield is boring. It's just, it's not fun. It's the furthest thing from, which is so crazy because, we beat Man City in the Community Shield and we were never the same again.
You're riding on that one.
But watch, Hayden, just wait. Wait until you guys play Spurs, and then you're going to be firing on all cylinders. You're going to give Arsenal a free win. You're going to give Chelsea a free win. You're going to give every London team a free win. And then you're going to come play Spurs. You're going to get a free penalty call or something like that. And then I know Christian Romero is going to come off injured. And then you guys are going to beat us like 3-1.
Dan, you sound traumatized there, bro.
Dude, when you lose the Champions League final
when you lose the Champions League final to like a 5th-minute penalty off a sketchy handball call, like, you're scarred for life. You really are.
Alright, guys.
And then you just watch
Hayden knows exactly
an entire like 90 minutes worth of mediocrity football from both Liverpool and Tottenham. I'll give him that. Like, Tottenham also played pretty mediocre, but yeah.
Alright, guys.
Liverpool played as good as they needed to in that final.
Clean sheets, guys. But Dan, you got to move forward, bro. Zach is glowing. That's weird. He's amped about United. That's weird. Hayden is like in some sort of acceptance stage. That's also very weird, bro. It's Everton. Hayden, come now, real talk, bruv. We don't have to. You went against Patterson, Cody, Tarkowski, and Mikolenko.
Cody's a good defender. What are you talking about?
Cody and Tarkowski is probably the best players in that team right now.
Tarkowski.
No, don't disrespect Alex Iwobi.
True. I guess
so. Central midfielder.
Yeah, Anthony Gordon's also pretty heated right now. Everyone wants to give him a contract.
He's aight, but I mean, it's him against Van Dijk. Van Dijk will have him for breakfast, bro. Like, I don't know.
Van Dijk has looked off at this.
Van Dijk's cooked, guys.
I think it's Gomez. As soon as you bring Matip back, the vibes are going to be they're going to be immaculate when you bring that guy back. I'm telling you.
Whoa, Matip.
I said this last season.
Yeah.
But Luke, you do know that when Gomez was the starting centre-back paired with Van Dijk, Liverpool won the league. People forget that.
Things change.
Gomez was the number 2 there with Van Dijk when Liverpool won the league.
Where was Matip?
And Konate is injured.
Everyone is injured.
Everyone's injured.
Okay, I mean, Gomez
players are so injured.
But I think
Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita are so injured. They're not even part of Liverpool's Champions League squad.
they that injured, bro. Oxlade-Chamberlain, but that's not going to change your life, bro. I haven't seen that guy play since.
Okay, so wait.
You know?
Hayden's getting a taste of Tottenham 2018-2019 season.
What do you mean? I had a taste of this 2 years ago. It's so sad that it's happening again.
Yeah, we all had.
So
that,
wait, you
that
mentioned
stage.
that Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain are going to be playing in the Champions League for you guys. Has
Not
Arthur
for the
been
group
registered?
stages.
Has Arthur been registered for the group stages then?
Yes.
Damn,
What are your thoughts
that
on
happened.
move?
I know absolutely nothing about Otto except for the fact that he played. All I remember about Otto was there was that freak transfer deal where Pjanic went to Barca and then Otto, or something like that. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh no, didn't Otto go
was-
to Barca and then
To Juve.
Pjanic went to Juve? It was like, what is this?
No, the other way. The other way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the other way.
Yeah.
And like,
Pjanic went to
I think
Barca.
Arthur was sold for like 70 something mil, Pjanic was sold for like 50 mil, and everyone was like, whoa, where are you pulling these numbers from?
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's
I
kinda
don't know
weird.
much about him. All I know is that he's played for good clubs, and he's just a body to fill the numbers.
Why don't
He's
you
there
guys
so
go
I
for like a
know Liverpool
Bellingham,
don't
bro?
have to play an under 19 in
Why
2
don't you
games
just
time.
splash money on Bellingham? Like, he's been your target
Because Liverpool
for a
are going to
while.
buy Bellingham next season. That is the plan. But if Liverpool don't make the Champions League, then they're obviously not going to buy Jude Bellingham.
That Real
Don't speak
Madrid
such
will.
words, Hayden. Don't speak such words. Don't put that into the
So
universe,
I don't.
brother.
Yeah. What is it? I don't understand the club sometimes.
I will say, Arthur is fairly similar to Thiago. Like, he's just like a very, very, very light version of Thiago. Where like, Thiago, like he's like primary function is ball progression, like through passing and carrying. And then he can do a little bit of everything else. Whereas Arthur can only do ball progression. Like, the dude doesn't defend. He doesn't
Yeah.
go
No,
like
but that's
attack
fine.
and go
Thiago
forward.
can't defend as well.
That's true. Like, as soon as Thiago left Bayern, the defensive numbers just cratered. So, you know, maybe Arthur will have some purpose for you guys.
Well, I'm interested to watch him play.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a
moving
weird
on.
Prem weekend. City
Yeah.
also dropped points.
I mean, weird Prem week.
Brighton scoring
Chelsea
5.
dropped points as well.
Chelsea and Liverpool are having the
Southampton.
worst time this season. And it's
Yeah.
really bad for both of those clubs.
And the thing is, they look bad. Like, I watched the Southampton-Chelsea game, and Chelsea just don't look good. Like, at least when Man City drew to Aston Villa on the weekend, like, Man City looked good. And they gotten a lot of shots. Like, Man City, you can say, probably should have won that game.
Yeah.
And Aston Villa was kind of lucky to get a point from that. Whereas Southampton fully deserved to beat Chelsea. Like, Southampton just straight up the better team. So that's really worrying. If you're
and
Chelsea.
I was not backing Southampton this season. I thought they were like done for. But I think those youngsters have kind of paid off, or at least initially. Yeah, and then also Chelsea got away with murder. They nearly drew to West Ham. I've never seen a more dodgy call.
Oh, dude.
It was madness. I saw
Mad.
on like Twitter, even I think in the after match talk with Declan Rice, he
Scandalous.
was like scandalous. I love
It's
that.
their voice, scandalous.
Scandalous.
What
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
I didn't watch that game.
Nah, so what happens is like essentially Mendy came out and spilled the ball, and then was it Bowen? Was it Bowen?
Yeah.
Kind of like went over Mendy and like just nicked him with like his foot or something like that, and then Mendy like acted like he was injured. And then VAR overturned it and was like, oh no, it's a foul on Mendy. But yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
would that have
if
been
you're not in
equaliser?
possession of the ball, like, yeah, just sketchy things. Definitely sketchy things. So
By the way, Mendy is fully on fraud watch this season. The man has not been good to start the season. Like,
Yeah.
it was, I can't remember which game it was where he just like passes straight to one of the. Oh, it was the Leeds game. Where he kind of just misses the ball, and then Brendan
saw that.
Anderson presses him, and then
And he
has
just-
like a tap in.
yeah, he tried to do like a little cutback and just absolutely
Yeah.
bottled it.
Yeah, I'm watching out for Mendy this season because I think Chelsea might be in the market for a keeper. Pretty soon. Again. And speaking of Chelsea going in for the same position again, they've gone and signed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to hopefully solve their striking issues.
I think, funny enough, that was probably like
on the
best deal they got. Everyone else, they were like breaking transfer records for. And then Aubameyang, I think it was actually like a very reasonable fee considering how well
Is he on loan?
Aubameyang has played in the past.
Permanent.
I'm so confused with that. Like, wasn't he doing well at Barcelona?
He was.
The thing is, Barca need to sell Oaks. So what Barca basically done is, in order to register all the new signings, so I think Koundé was the last one they need to register. One of their board members basically promised that they would get their salary below the salary cap, and if not, they would basically give the league 20 mil. So they had to sell like some of their Oaks, and Aubameyang, which is one of the guys that they could get rid of. So
how much was
it?
That's why the fee was so reasonable, because they had to get rid of him.
Yeah, but and you're right. He'd just gone there.
Like, did he go in the January transfer
That's Barcelona, dude. Exactly. That is Barcelona.
No, but they have Louis now, so he was probably going to bench like most of the season anyway. So he's like, alright, let's bounce to Chelsea. You know?
Like, I don't understand these Spanish clubs. These Spanish clubs have too much money for their own good.
No, it just
gets
Barca,
better, Hayden.
bro. It's just Barca.
They still technically own Antoine Griezmann, who's playing for Atletico Madrid. And in the loan agreement that Atletico have with Barca, I think it was that if he plays more than half the minutes available to him, I think Atletico have to either pay Barca some additional fee or have to buy him on a permanent deal.
If he plays more than like 45 minutes, Atletico have to pay Barca like 14 mil or something.
Exactly. So
does he just get
so man's just playing like 29
minutes
a game and then getting taken off.
Yeah, he averaged 60 minutes a game last season. So now this season he's only playing 29 minutes, so that Atletico don't have to pay that 14 mil to Barca.
What a stonks move! La Liga needs to figure some things out here, guys. Sounds a bit sketchy, but Madrid's fine, so we don't care.
No, Barcelona need a full-on audit because there's something rotten there.
Bruv.
Yeah.
They've activated however many levers on something, and I don't know. We should relegate them, guys. We should send them to the Segunda division, or whatever the second division in Spain is called. You know?
Zach.
Yeah, I think they... Yeah.
Now I was about to say, if we haven't got too much to talk about, maybe we just hit score a draft early and, have a reasonably, lengthy episode today.
Just two more topics I want to hit. This is a short one. I don't know if you guys saw, but West Ham signed Lucas Paqueta from Lyon. So he's a midfielder, central midfielder. So he's probably going to play in the double pivot with Declan Rice. So their midfield is now a Paqueta Rice.
Nice.
Good one, Zach. So the final topic I wanted to hit on this week's part.
Wow! It doesn't take a lot to trigger Hayden. Yo, he wasn't going to take it.
Yeah, Hayden's gone.
Hayden knows his worth.
And he's back. The final topic I wanted to hit on this week's pod was Scott Parker, who has been sacked already. Like, so much has happened. Like, I actually forgot about this. But Bournemouth just sacked Scott Parker. And he is a £4,000 cardigan. So
the one thing I'm holding on to is the fact that Sean Dyche might come back to the Premier League. That is my current fantasy.
Sean,
he's 100% coming.
I can see that happening because, like, I heard that the only reason he got sacked was because of the comments he made after the match when he was basically outing the board for not supporting him and backing him and buying players. Because, like, Bournemouth have played Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, and they lost those 3 games, and then they beat Villa. So they got the maximum number of points they could have gotten from their first 4 matches, really and realistically. And they got chowed 9-0, but it happens. Ralph Hasenhüttl?
It happens.
He got knocked 9-0, but he stayed there at Southampton. He got hit 9-0 twice, but he's still playing.
Yeah,
exactly. Dude's still kicking about. And poor Scott Parker has to now look for a new job.
Yeah, he got sacked because of politics. More than anything.
Yeah. But I'm very anti-Bournemouth now. I want Bournemouth to go down. I want them to finish bottom of the league. And yeah, like you mentioned, Dan, I think Sean Dyche will make an appearance in the Premier League at some point. Whether that's at Bournemouth, I think Villa are going to be pretty close to sacking Gerrard soon. So
he's just got appointed Man City. He's going to be in the Premier League eternally. Lampard will be sacked first.
Dude, you go to Everton. Like, there's so many places I could just see Sean Dyche at. So
please, we need the king back. Please.
We got rid of Burnley, but can't get rid of Sean Dyche. So yeah, that's all I want to hit on this week's episode. In terms of the scorer draft, Hayden, you went on last week's pod, and I didn't get a name from you, so you don't have an entry for the scorer draft this week, which is unfortunate.
Just give me Haaland again.
I think that's a -1. That's a -1. Sorry, Hades.
To be fair, I think the opportunity cost was enough of a punishment.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Dan, you went with your boy Harry Kane. Unfortunately, he only got 1 goal, which is still something.
Hey.
But, I mean, you'd expect more from Kane in double game week, for being honest. But you are now on 1 point. Luke, you went with
don't I have
Ivan
1 point
Toney.
already? Don't I have 1 point already?
Yes, you're right. So you're on 2 now.
Aha.
Ivan Toney.
That's correct. And he got a hat-trick, Luke. So you've broken the donut, and you're on 3. I went with Ilkay Gundogan, and he did not start the midweek game for Man City, so that always helps.
Masterclass.
And he did not score in the weekend game either, so I'm still on 0.
Reminds me
And
of
Hayden,
when
you're
I
on 3.
picked Pablo Fornells last season. Our man didn't even play.
Oot.
Yeah. I think that's twice now. Oh no, it's Luke that picked Rodrigo that didn't start last week.
Wait, so what am I on? Am I not leading?
Yeah, you're tied with Luke at the top now. Luke's just gone from 0 to top.
Pure luck.
In 1
Pure
week.
luck.
I told
how
you
many
I'm going
points
to
do I
back my
have?
boy Tony.
You're on 3.
Okay.
Yeah. You're on 3, Luke's on 3, Dan, you're on 2, and then I'm on 0 still. So, yeah. The order for this week is Hayden, Daniel, Luke, and then myself.
Okay. So, I'm going to choose Rashford.
Ooh.
Rashford. Who are we playing? I don't even know who we're playing.
Crystal Palace. You're playing away.
Ooh.
Palace away. That could be tricky.
Palace. They've got Hakeem Anderson.
Dan's boy.
The GOAT.
Okay.
Man
Dan?
City, Tottenham. Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, now I would pick one of the Tottenham boys, but I'm no City. It's a bit tough. I think I'm going to go for a reasonable but slightly out there pick, and I'm going to go for Raheem Sterling.
Raz.
Razzie.
Raheem.
I can see him letting me down though, just bottling it. Missing some sitters. Is he on penalties? Is my question.
I don't know. Have
Sterling.
they had a penalty this season?
Yeah. In fact, no,
Nah, it's probably
Jorginho might be
still
on
Jorginho.
penalties or something like that. Yeah.
Probably still Jorginho, bro. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I
you
think
guys
the penalty goes.
fumbled. Liverpool is playing Wolves, guys. I don't know if I selected Louis D before.
No.
Oh,
Have I selected
Zach's
Louis D?
dreams were just crushed.
Have I selected Louis D?
And
I
you
don't
know
think I've
what's going to
selected-
happen right now? He's going to score a
What's
hat
gonna
trick.
happen?
Just because Luke did this.
No. Liverpool players don't score hat-tricks.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oof.
Hey, I don't know what's happened here, bro, but
Indeed.
never have I ever thought that
hurt
sentence would
you,
come
Hayden?
out of your mouth.
Please, bro, who hurt
Yes.
you? We need to find them.
Jurgen Klopp.
Now, Luke, it's a good pick if Zach was going to pick it.
Yeah.
The stats man, he's probably got like a
Sorry,
whole bunch of
sorry,
calculus
buddy.
notes in the
Zach,
background,
no, bro,
like hiding
you
it.
have you still have the opportunity to pick the best player in probably the world right now. Darwin Núñez, bro.
Jadon
He's
Sancho.
on form. No, bro. Darwin Núñez is like right there for you for the picking.
Dude, it's not even... Darwin Núñez is probably not even going to start against Wolves. You know who's actually been in
I don't know.
is Firmino.
That's
Surprisingly.
But
Last 2
Hayden,
games.
watch. We say that now, and then he doesn't start. I can just see it. I can see it coming.
Well, I think he deserves to start more than Nunes.
See, this is tricky because
Hayden, we're gonna give Nunes one more week, and then we need to sit down and chat about him because it was him and Haaland, bro. They were backed, and now my man.
It was never him and Haaland. Everyone already established. It was always common knowledge that Haaland was the better player.
But seriously, though, I think we need to have a discussion about his case to be placed on forward
watch.
watch.
Sit down and have a serious chat, Hayden.
Like,
unless he scores
like
he'll probably score, but one of those ones where he's not meant to score, he didn't realize that he had scored, and then he just does.
The dude's like appealing for a penalty, meanwhile he scored. Yeah.
Vibes.
So in terms of my pick for this week, I want to go the Arsenal player because they are playing Everton home, and Everton are rubbish. So I've picked Jesus and Saka already though, so that's the issue.
Martinelli, possibly.
Martinelli, I think, is probably the way to go. Himo Odegaard for me. But I think I'm going to go with Martinelli because he's in my FPL team as well. So I might as well double up. And there we go. So Hayden's going with Rashford, Dan, Sterling, Luke, Luis Diaz, and then myself. I'll be going with Martinelli. And that, I believe, is all for this week, ladies and gents. I sincerely hope you have enjoyed this week's episode. Give us a 5-star review and like the video if you have. And until next time, this has been the 2 Cents Footy crew of the 2 Cents Footy podcast. Have a good day.